heavyweight division take the title away from him?
John Jones called us last night and retired. John Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Dana White announced it after the UFC fight night in Baku, Azerbaijan. Said he is officially retired and Tom Aspinall is the UFC heavyweight champion. Unbelievable. I didn't think that it was going to happen this fast. I mean, Jones then puts out a statement that said, today, I'm officially announcing my retirement from the UFC. The decision comes after a lot of reflection, and I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for the journey I've experienced over the years.
In the lead, he announces to the world, John Jones is retired. He called us last night. He is no longer the UFC heavyweight champion. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion. He is then asked in a subsequent question, all right, well, who is Tom going to fight? He said, oh, Tom's coming to international fight. We were going to sit with him. You know, we got the meetings, all this stuff. They don't even have that ready. Did they tell Tom even before all of this? They say John Jones called him up last night. Coincidentally, 2 days ago, this interview with the Nelk boys that was shot on Saturday after the DBX card is making the rounds, where John Jones essentially says, I'm not so into it. He all but says he's retired.
John Jones officially retiring from the sport of mixed martial arts. We knew, DC, that this had been part of the conversation. We were hoping it wasn't going to be the conversation just yet. I mean, I selfishly was hoping for a fight between he and Tom Aspinall. I don't think I'm the only one. In fact, I know the whole world was kind of hoping for that. In the end, he is not fighting Tom Aspinall. He is retiring from the sport of mixed martial arts, announced by Dana White on Saturday. Your initial thoughts to the announcement that John Jones is officially retired from mixed martial arts?
So my first thought, it was like, he actually did it. He actually did it. You know, like, I didn't think that he would walk away. I didn't know that, you know, he would allow for or would be able to handle what comes with making this decision right now and the optics of it, Brett. Do you understand what I'm saying? What it looks like to people. I didn't know that his ego would be able to handle walking away. I figured he would fight based on that.
John Jones has retired?
I'm telling you that Dana White just said it. He spoke to him last night, and John Jones is retired, and Tom Aspinall is now the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion.
Are they saying when Tom is coming back?
No, that's why I started texting you.
Okay. Let me know if they just say when he's coming back or who he's fighting or whatever.
Okay.
All right.
I'll send them a message.
All right. Thanks.
From dominating champions inside the octagon to sparking heated debates outside of it, John Jones has always been more than just a competitor. He's a phenomenon. Now, with new training footage making the rounds, the excitement is back in full force. It's not just the fans who are talking. Major voices in the sport are weighing in as well. Joe Rogan, never one to mince words, recently shared his thoughts on what sets John apart. He didn't just focus on Jones's physical gifts or technical skills. He also explored the mindset that fuels him, blending admiration with tough questions about the chaos that seems to follow John wherever he goes.
Has been doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yep.
To get up to heavyweight.
That and the extra weight, right?
Yeah.
He's carrying all that extra weight. He's lifting all that weight. And it's like, you got to develop muscle, but it's got to be usable muscle. You can't just be big.
Well, the other thing is if you're not doing anything, like if you're not taking anything, then your recovery from like really heavy power lifts is kind of significant.
Didn't he lift like 600 pounds or something?
Oh my God, he's strong as fuck. He's strong as fuck. He looks very big now. Like, he looks like a heavyweight. Wildness. John Jones, when he fought Mauricio Shogun Rua for the light heavyweight title when he was 23 years old, he opens up the fight with a flying knee.
Joe Rogan doesn't just see an elite athlete in John Jones. He sees someone far more layered. In Rogan's eyes, John belongs in the same rare category as Mike Tyson, a natural-born conqueror. It isn't just about the championships or the knockouts for Joe. It's about a mentality that's simply different. Rogan explained that certain people are built differently, standing out even among the elite, and John is one of them. From a young age, Jones was dismantling top-tier opponents and never shied away from a challenge. Even after moving up to heavyweight, he continued to dominate, proving his greatness across divisions.
It's conquerors. That's what it is. Conquerors. Like, they're both conquerors. Like, I had this thing that I put up on my Instagram the other day that somebody made. It was a me talking about trying to explain why John exists. That there's people that are just different. They're wired different, and they are uncommon amongst uncommon men. They rise to the top of the top.
They're the
and
black
they just
op of their profession.
dominate. They just dominate, and that's John. He's just the greatest of all time.
It's exciting
He's
to watch.
37 years old, and he's still the greatest.
But Joe doesn't ignore the flip side. As much as he respects John's abilities, he often wonders why someone so dominant keeps running into trouble outside the cage. Rogan believes that the same wild streak that makes Jones so effective in a fight also leads to chaos in his personal life. That unpredictability might serve him well in the octagon, but in everyday life, it's a recipe for turmoil. Joe pointed out that John's career has been marked by controversy, from accidents to legal issues. And while it's frustrating, it's also part of what makes John who he is.
Jones was having all sorts
he's got trouble
of
with everybody.
problems. His problems, I think, had very little to do with Dana and more to do with his actions outside of the cage. I mean, inside the octagon, and the way he was promoted fantastic. But he's just crazy.
Yeah.
John's crazy. You know,
John is crazy.
John needs
That's
a
factual.
babysitter. I mean, John's the baddest motherfucker at 205 ever. He just needs
How
a babysitter.
anyone let him drive a car anymore when you got that much money is beyond me. Like, pay your buddy $40,000 a year,
Exactly.
and have him drive you permanently.
Yeah.
Like, why he was driving his own car?
Yeah.
That one's beyond me.
Well, they didn't know until they bought him a Bentley, and then he wrapped it around a tree.
But
that's when they should have known.
But then there was the other one where he hit and the hit and run was after that one.
Yep, the hit and run was after that one, and then there was the other one we got pulled over speeding in his
Yes.
Corvette. He told the cop to go fuck himself.
Terrible decision. What are you doing?
He's a fucking wild dude.
Yes.
That's why he's so good. It's one of the reasons why he's so
Absolutely.
good.
For Rogan, it's not just about the skills or the accolades, it's about personality. He thinks John's refusal to conform, even when it would make his life easier, is a big part of his greatness. Fighters like Jones often resist being controlled. They don't want to be told what to do, not even by the UFC. While that attitude can create problems, it's also what pushes them to the top.
Babysit everybody. The UFC has 500 fighters on its roster. I mean, how many of those guys are prone to wild behavior? I would say 350.
A lot of them. Yeah. Most of them, right?
Yeah.
High risk males that fight in a sport where you have the potential to be hurt every single time you step on the job. Yeah. But when you're making millions of dollars, you got to put safeguards against yourself.
Yeah, but I think also what makes John so good is his self-confidence. And he probably is like, I got it. I fucked up before, but I got it now.
So I'm really into...
While Rogan paints John Jones as a fighter who sees the fight game on another level, Daniel Cormier's encounters with him proved that in real time, and not just in the cage. Before they ever fought, the tension was already sky high. At a press event, John got in Cormier's face, putting his forehead against DC's. Cormier, never one to back down, shoved him away. That's when things exploded. John lunged, and a full-blown brawl broke out in front of the cameras. Security jumped in, chaos erupted, and it became clear this rivalry was as real as it gets.
He probably fell down. I'm going to tell you one thing. And I'll tell you this right now. When I was in that press fight with John Jones, I was still undefeated at the time. And we were at the MGM Grand, and he headbutted me, like put his head on me. So I push him. He's an alpha male too. So the fucker attacks me.
Right.
Right? So we get to fighting.
Oh, boy.
So we get to fighting, right? And we're fighting, and Joe, the security guard from the UFC, falls under me. But now I'm on my back as we go flying off of the stage. I will say there was a thought to bite the motherfucker. Because, like, what am I doing on my back? Right? I'm losing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
bite the son of a bitch. I ain't got no mouthpiece in my...
What really stood out for Cormier, though, wasn't just the animosity. It was how tough it was to handle John once the fight started. As a highly decorated wrestler, DC was used to controlling his opponents, taking down even the best, like Stipe Miocic. But John was a different challenge altogether. Even when Cormier managed to get him to the mat, Jones stayed calm, found ways to get back up, and made DC work for every inch.
He was always
When we
strong.
fought, he was strong. Like, he was strong. Leverage. Great with his leverage. Dude, the way he was able to manipulate positions, because I thought, without a shadow of a doubt, that I would take him down at will. But it's hard. Even if you get a takedown, it's hard against the best guys. I picked Stipe up, I threw him down. Held him down for the whole first round. And then he got up because we got to start again. So now I got to start that process all over again. And that's why Khabib Nurmagomedov was so special, because it didn't matter how many times he had to restart the process. He went right back to doing that with his opponent, knowing that he was going to throw you to the ground.
In the clinch, John's height and reach became a major obstacle. Cormier described how it felt like he was the one supporting John's weight, not the other way around. Jones would lean on him, pressing him into the cage, forcing DC to carry both the physical and mental burden of figuring out how to break free. That constant pressure takes a toll, round after round.
I think guys like Jones, he's so tall, he's so rangy, and he just understood fighting. The guy just understands fighting. And it makes him hard to deal with. And then, Joe, when you get in a clinch with this dude, he's so tall that it's almost like you're holding him up if you're the shorter fighter. He's like draping over the top of you. And that is what fatigues you. Because when I'm clinching, you know, I fought there a ton, like just in the clinch, punch, punch, punch. I'm trying to break your posture. He doesn't do that. He pushes you against the octagon, and then he leans. So now you're carrying 220 with your weight up against the octagon, and it's like, and then he's changing level, then he's spinning, trying to elbow you. The dude just understands fighting and understands how to maneuver his body to fatigue you. It's crazy.
Then came the strikes. Knees to the body whenever DC tried to close the gap. Kicks from distance when he stepped back. No matter what strategy Cormier tried, Jones had a counter. While DC landed some solid shots, John's were better timed and more punishing. A single knee to the ribs or a well-placed body kick would drain Cormier's energy in ways the audience couldn't see, but DC definitely felt. Those body shots left a lasting impression, the kind of pain that lingers long after the fight.
He also is the best at managing distance.
Oh, gosh. It hurts so bad trying to get close to him. I tell you that. Hey, dude, it hurts so bad. Joe, it hurts so bad. The kicks to the body and the knees. Because you know me, like Kane, me and Kane were forward, 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 head movement, get close, punch, 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 take you down.
Right.
But with him, he was a southpaw, so his lead leg was right there, so I wanted to grab a single leg. But this dude would be stepping back, kneeing me, kneeing me, kneeing me. And then I would be like, okay, so I need to stop going forward. So now I'm at range, and he blasts body kick, and then body kick. So now you're like, shit, I'm not going to stay on the end of these body kicks because they hurt. So then you get close, and he knees you. So it's like you're landing, and I'm hitting him. But he's hitting me with things that may not be as big, like my hand, overhand, right, looks big. But that knee just goes boom, right in the rib every time. Boom, right in the rib. And then every now and again, they catch you right in the middle. That shit hurts bad, man. I don't even know how the hell
What made Jones even more difficult to handle was his composure in every situation. He never fought recklessly. Instead, he looked like someone who had already seen every scenario and knew exactly how to respond. Cormier was known for grinding opponents down, but against John, it was DC who was worn out by the end. Just when people started to think Jon Jones was all talk, he showed up halfway across the globe at the renowned Bang Tao gym in Thailand. He wasn't just there to relax, he was actively involved in seminars, surrounded by fighters, answering questions, and dropping hints that the fight with Tom Aspinall might actually be on the horizon. The energy of a training camp seemed to be returning, and Jones making an appearance at a gym like Bang Tao. That's not a vacation move, it's a calculated step towards something big.
Because he was just at a seminar in Thailand, Bang Tao, world famous gym, and he gave one hell of an announcement.
When are you fighting Tom?
I was waiting for it. When are you fighting Tom? Like, governor. The UFC in town, we all got a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. They're one of the biggest organizations in sports, and right now Tom and I have agreed to wait for the UFC to make their announcements. So I legally can't really talk about it.
Michael Bisping, who's trained alongside world-class fighters and understands the mental grind of preparing for battle, noticed this shift too. He observed that Jones seemed to let something slip during a Q&A session, hinting that the fight was essentially agreed upon and just waiting for the UFC's official announcement. That's significant because for months, Jones had seemed uncommitted. Now he's at a top-tier gym, surrounded by attention, saying things like, "We've agreed." Bisping pointed out that you don't make statements like that unless things are already moving behind the scenes.
So of course, he's at Bang Tao, he's doing a Q&A, and he was asked, when is the fight with Tom going to happen? He knew it was going to come, and his answer explains a lot. He said it's going to happen. He basically says the fight is a done deal, but of course they can't announce it yet. Now, of course,
and let's be honest, Bisping's been around long enough to know that major fight announcements aren't made casually on a podcast or a random social media stream. Big fights get the full promotional treatment. Press conferences, world tours, the works. So when Jon Jones drops a hint in a seminar, it's intentional. It's a message. Bisping emphasized that a fight of this scale deserves a grand reveal, and the UFC will want to control how and when that happens.
Can't just announce it. Oh, the fight's going to happen. No,
That's stupid.
fights of this magnitude, the UFC want to do a proper job. They want to announce it in a spectacular fashion. They want to have a press conference. They want the world's media there. They don't want someone on YouTube or whatever or on the phone just going, yeah, the fight's happening, right? Even when I was fighting my fights, I wasn't allowed to announce them. They wanted to announce them, as I say, in the proper way to make sure that all the world's media is there and it gets all the...
This brings us back to Tom Aspinall, whose name keeps coming up in Jon's interviews. Bisping noted the psychological aspect at play. When Jones says, Tom annoys me, it's more than just trash talk. It's a way of justifying the weight, maybe even convincing himself. But Bisping isn't convinced it's about fear. He sees it as strategy. Jones is building anticipation, raising the stakes, and making sure everyone is invested in this fight.
Told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. The heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce that soon.
Now, Jon Jones has been playing around a little bit. He said that Tom Aspinall annoys him and he doesn't want to give him the opportunity.
I just don't even want to do business with him.
And for a while, I was like, what is he doing? Then I was like, hold on a minute. Maybe he's just playing the game. Maybe he's just trying to get us all to want the fight even more. And he might be doing. And he might be talking shit right now, right? We don't know. We don't know if what he's saying right now at Bangtan.
But there's a personal angle too. Jones admitted that UK fans showed up in large numbers at Bangtao, and he credits Tom for that. Bisping highlighted how Aspinall's star power is growing. This isn't just hype anymore. It's the ability to draw a crowd. That kind of attention brings pressure, and pressure can change how fighters act.
He was there and he said the fight's going to happen, okay? And I don't think he was just saying that because he felt the pressure of the crowd. Yes, of course, there was a massive turnout at Bangtao. He said that a lot of the people that were there, they were from the UK, and it's because of Tom Aspinall talking shit. He said he has a lot of fans in the UK and the love for him is through the roof. Listen, Jon Jones is one of the greatest of all time, if not the, right? That's a fact. There's been some behavioural issues, shall we say. There's been some problems with the law. There's been some problems with drug tests over the years as well. But the reality is, what he has done inside the octagon is incredible, okay? And that's why people want...
For Aspinall, this is the opportunity he's been working toward. As Bisping put it, Tom isn't just waiting for a payday. He's looking to prove he's the true heavyweight king. To do that, he has to go through Jon Jones, the man many still consider the greatest of all time. That's legacy-defining territory.
Aspinall has been waiting on the sidelines, just waiting for that opportunity, waiting to validate himself as A, the champion of the world, and B, the baddest man on the planet. And he's got to do that by being...
Bisping didn't hold back when it came to breaking down the matchup. He praised Aspinall's speed, agility, knockout power, and all-around skill set, qualities Jon hasn't faced all at once in the heavyweight division. It's clear now, Tom is a legitimate threat. That could be why we're finally seeing Jon re-engage.
Martial arts. The only questions that we ever seen about Tom is, what is he like when he gets to the later rounds? We got to assume that he's going to be good. The man can wrestle, he's got jiu-jitsu, he's got ridiculous knockout power, he's fast, he's quick, he's a hell of an athlete, he's very agile. And this was the reason why a lot of people were saying Jon Jones doesn't want to fight this guy. He thought he was going to come up to heavyweight and fight some fat, out-of-shape dudes. Granted, he beat Cyril Garner, who's far from out of shape and far from fat and old or anything like that. But a lot of the heavyweights, some of them aren't maybe the best athletes. I think people were trying to say, oh, he just wanted people like Taito Avasa or whatever. Taito Avasa knocked out Derek Lewis. Just because someone's got a little bit of flab around the midsection, don't think they can't knock you out. But of course, Tom Aspinall is a different kettle.
And here's where Bisping nailed it. This fight has to happen. Without it, Jones's legacy will always have a question mark. But if it does go down, especially at a venue like Madison Square Garden as Bisping predicted, it could be one of the biggest heavyweight battles ever. The money, the attention, the stakes, it's all there. Bisping also reminded everyone that while Jones might have the fight IQ, Aspinall brings the X factor factor: raw power, speed, and unpredictability. If the fight turns into a true test, game plans might go out the window. As Bisping put it, once you take a clean shot from Tom, you're no longer thinking strategy. You're thinking about surviving. So what do you think? Is Jon Jones just delaying the inevitable? Or is this fight finally about to happen? Will Tom Aspinall get the chance he's earned? Or is this just another drawn-out tease? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're watching this story closely, and if this fight comes together, it could reshape the heavyweight division for years to come.